All right, my friends, good morning, good evening, wherever you're at in the world while you're tuning into this little video. Today I'm going to talk about how to finance your world travel, or if you want to punch out of your home country and live as an expat somewhere, how do you pay for all this? And this is going to be, as all my videos are, this is informal. I got some background noise going on because there's construction. These dudes are nailing on a hammer over there. But you know what? There's no time like the present. I can sit here and wait till them guys stop hammering or listening to, I actually got some country music going on over there. That's another thing, another reason I love the Philippines. You know, you go on your everyday travels and you hear country music from the 70s, 80s. Now a lot of music, if you're in a damn taxi, they seem like they're listening to, you know, like soft rock shit that you would listen to in a dentist chair, you know, back in the West. But you know, like these cats are listening to some old school country music while they're working. You gotta love it. Welcome to my studio, my little kitchen studio right here. And like I said, today I'm gonna talk about how to finance your world travel. And everybody asks me, man, how are you living over there? You know, how have you been living so long? But it's not really about what I'm doing. Everybody's situation is different. And I mean, yeah, I understand you want to hear exactly how I do it and see my numbers and what I've done. But the real question is, how can you do it? I can tell you my case story, and yeah, there's going to be some learning points, but you're not going to be able to exactly replicate what I did, because my situation is totally different than yours. It's different than the next guy's. So the purpose of the video is just to give you some ideas about what you can do. And at the end, I'm going to tell you what you should do, what I think you should do if you're, and this applies to anybody, 20s, 30s, 40s, your 50s, anybody who has not retired yet, or even if you're going to retire, this is a way to generate some extra money. But I'm going to go through the options and give you my take on all these ways to make money if you leave your home country. And I'm going to try to take it slow. I actually wrote down some notes, so I'm going to refer to my notes to try to stay on script. And you know, when I'm drinking, which actually, well, hold on. That's good cold beer. Actually, I just now started drinking. It's my first beer of the day. I think it's like 7 in the morning. Again, this is just a lot of food for thought. So how to finance world travel, how to do it, how to leave your home country and start traveling the world. Now, folks, it doesn't matter if you're trying to move to London, you're trying to move to Bangkok, you're trying to move to the Dominican Republic or some island somewhere and live on a hammock. You have to have an income. A lot of guys say, hey man, I got 30,000 saved up. How long can I live on that? The average, or the answer is not very long, man. A savings, it just seems to go because you're gonna either spend a chunk of it on this, next thing you know, you're broke. You gotta have some type of income coming in. So if people say, hey man, I got 30,000, how long can I live? Not very long. Take that 30,000, invest it in something to where you're getting a monthly income, and then come on over. It allows you to budget. The average person is gonna, you know, if you can't get your hands on it, you can't spend it. So a $30,000 savings is not gonna last you very long. You need to take that 30,000, somehow or another figure out how to get the monthly income, a dependable source of income, you know, coming in. And that route, you know, maybe you invest in a rental property, you put some renters in there, and that's a whole nother topic. Let me get back on what I think the average person could do if they really want to leave their home country and travel or live as an expat somewhere. Okay, step number one, what I've said before in a previous video, is you have to get out of debt. I talked about this while I was sitting on a bar stool in Bangkok at a Hooters, long rambling video. You can go back and pull that up. I'll put the link down in the description. It's just a long rambling video for me to say you have to get out of debt before you leave your home country. You can't just leave your home country and you owe for your mortgage, 3 storage units, 2 car payments. It's not going to work. You can't make enough money. The average person is not going to make enough money to live on an island somewhere and then pay bills back in your home country. Step number one is to zero your debt. Zero it to the point that you don't even have a storage locker. If you're paying $150 on a storage locker back in the States on some junk that the rats are eating, that's your rent in a lot of these places. That's significant. So you don't want to have anything when you leave. If you're paying child support, my friends, you're gonna have to take a different route because you can't escape that. Now, I'm a staunch supporter against child support. It's part of the reason that children are weaponized these days. What I call the weaponization of children. But you can't leave your home country if you're not paying child support. The State Department will seize your passport. You won't be able to travel. I mean, you could owe everybody in town $1 million. You can still travel. If you owe 1 penny of child support, the State Department can seize your passport, and you're not going anywhere. So all my friends that are paying child support, you're gonna have to wait till that child support's over, or you better be a high enough player on your income where you can pay that child support and then go lay up in a hammock. And again, that's another topic. But getting out of debt is the first thing you have to do before you can pack a backpack, travel the world, live on the cheap, live in a hammock, lay up on an island somewhere on the beach. So check out the video I did from Hooters, links down in the description. And if you want to know specifically how you can get out of debt, I did another live stream. Not many people watched it. I also wrote an article on it. I'm going to put them links down there. But if you're serious about getting out of debt, it's not going to work for everybody, but it is food for thought, and I recommend you read those articles and watch that video. It's fucking genius. Okay, so let's say you're out of debt. You've zeroed your debt by hustling. And you can't tell me you can't get out of debt. Okay, in the West, if you really want to hustle and make extra money, folks, there's part-time jobs there's money laying on the ground in the West. You work Monday through Friday at the grind, okay. You want to get out of debt, you work Friday night fucking delivering pizzas. You get a part-time job at Home Depot on Saturday and Sunday. Okay, you're gonna put extra money in your pocket. Oh yeah, you'd be working every day of the week, my friends. But you know what? If you want to do it, you can hustle, you can get the money, and you can't do it. Don't tell me you can't. You watch my video about how to get out of debt, and it's probably gonna hurt some feelings. I don't give a fuck. But if you want to get out of debt, you watch that video and you take some fucking action. When I decided to leave the States, to leave my home country, it took me 2 years to get my plan in order. It took me even longer than that to put the money and everything in place, but it took me 2 years. So if you're saying, man, I'm tired of the grind right now, I want to punch out, I want to go live over in the Philippines, or I want to move to Guatemala and hang out. Okay, make the decision, come up with a plan, and realize your plan ain't going to be in 2 weeks. Okay, it took me 2 years. 2 years just to get rid of my shit, just to shut things down, just to put things in place where I could leave. So this is a long-term plan for my folks who are in their 20s and their 30s, in your 40s. This is a long-term plan. Now, if you're 54, 55, you can retire. You are going to retire. Your kids are grown. it's probably going to be a quicker process, and it needs to be a quicker process, like I've talked about in my video about moving your timeline to the left of retirement, on retirement. But if you're in your 20s right now, you're 26 years old, you're tired of the grind already, you want to lay up in a hammock somewhere, then you need to listen. Get out of debt, hustle, and then the next step you got to do, folks, is come up with a way to make money. Even living in my $28 beach condo, I still need $1,000 per month to survive. Living, on the local economy, as cheap as I can live, you still need $1,000 a month. You want to live like an expat, an average expat, where you go out to eat, drink a little bit of beer, you need $2,000 a month. And if you're going to be a party guy, hit the bars, you need $3,000 a month. So I'm going to set the bar at $1,000 per month. There's many countries in the world where you can move out, lay up on a beach in a hammock somewhere, and if you have $1,000 a month, you can live. And you're going to live a better lifestyle than most of you living in the States making six figures. But you got to figure out a way to come up with that $1,000. So let me run down the typical list of things that you're going to hear on the internet or on YouTube, and let me break down the reality, okay? Now the first thing people think, and myself included when I first left, is, oh, I'm going to start a travel blog. I'm going to make money off a travel blog, and that's how I'm going to live. And if you look at this on YouTube, everybody's telling you how to start a travel blog, make $10,000 in 3 days with your travel blog. Folks, it's all bullshit. It's all horse shit. Okay, what is it? Like 99% of all blogs, they get abandoned within like the first 2-3 weeks. Okay, starting a travel blog is like the worst fucking idea that you can come up with to generate money, to generate an income. And I'm not telling you it's a bad idea to start a travel blog. I'm telling you that it's not gonna work, that if you leave your home country, start a travel blog and expect to make $1,000 a month, within 30 days. It's not going to happen. Has it happened? Does it happen? Very, very infrequently. And you can look at these top travel bloggers, and they'll tell you the same shit. They didn't get popular overnight. It took years. There's a million travel blogs out there. There's probably 0.05% of them that make enough money to make a living. So if you think you're going to start a travel blog and make $1,000 a month, that's a long time coming, and it's about 99% odds that you're going to fail. Okay, should you start a travel blog? Absolutely, because it's fun. It gives you something to do, and you document your journey. You document your journey for others to learn, for your family to stay up on what you're doing, just for your own, looking back, seeing where you've been and stuff. And so it is a good idea if you leave to do that. Yeah, you can run your Facebook, Instagram, but you don't own that content. They can ban your ass at any moment for doing something, out of their policies, and it's gone. So if you start your own blog, your own travel blog, you're pretty much in control of that content. Now why is everybody telling you to start a travel blog? Well, because it brings up, how do you make money on a travel blog? Hold on, this dude over here is cutting fucking tile. I can't even hear myself talk. I'll take this time to drink a beer. Everything on the internet is about advertising and sales. So you're reading a travel blog. That travel blogger, the way he makes money, one of the ways he makes money is called affiliate marketing, where we, myself included, we recommend products. You click on that link and you make a purchase, and we take a commission. So travel bloggers in general, all we are is online salespeople. They call it affiliate marketing. But really, it's no different than if you go to a car dealership and buy a car, that salesman is taking a commission. We're just writing about stuff and talking about stuff in video, podcasts, and you buy it, we take a commission. So that's how people make money. One of the reasons they make money from a travel blog. And my website has affiliate links from products that I use and recommend. I take commissions off of that. The links down in this description, they're affiliate links. If you click on them, make a purchase, I take a commission. So these cool travel bloggers, we're just basically online salesmen. All right, that's reality. Now some people do it for merely a hobby, but anybody who's running their blog to generate money, they're writing these articles to provide you value in the hopes that you're going to buy something. You're going to book a hotel room. You're going to buy a backpack. And we're taking commissions. That's one of the ways we make money. But if you think that you're going to start a travel blog and leave Kansas and survive on that travel blog, 99.9% you're not going to make a fucking dime. That's reality. Why are all these articles saying, oh, you can make $10,000 a month with your blog? Because they're trying to sell you hosting plans or WordPress themes. They're trying to sell you something. They're trying to get you to start the blog, click on that hosting plan, and we take a commission. I'm just telling you the truth behind it, right? You're not going to make that big money like they're promising. Is it a good idea to have your own website with your name? Yeah, I think so, because that's your base. markblackard.com is my base. I can post articles, I can post photos, videos, messages. I can communicate with the world from my website, and nobody tells me what to do. On my Facebook, I'm not on Facebook, but Facebook, Instagram, all of these social media sites, they have the ability to ban you with a click. You could have 10 years worth of content. Look what happened to old Alex Jones, right? Boom, ban. All that content is now not accessible. But unless he's doing something illegal and the hosting company, bans him for illegality, pretty much you own that website. And if this hosting company bans you, you just take your content and you go to a country where you're within their legal framework, and boom, you're back to being worldwide. So yeah, you do need a blog, in my opinion, but don't depend on that to make your $1,000 a month. There's a learning curve. You got to learn WordPress. If you're not good at writing or typing, well, shit, you're not going to have fun doing it, right? So let's move along. What about a YouTube channel? Let's start a YouTube channel. Folks, yes, there are people on YouTube making a good living. I don't know what the numbers are, but I would say 95% of YouTube channels aren't making enough money or not making any money. I'm going to give you a nice round number. I would say that for you to be able to live off of your YouTube exploits only, you need 100,000 subscribers. And not 100,000 like fake subscribers. I'm talking about 100,000 people that really tune in and watch your content before you're going to be able to make money. I think 100,000, in my opinion, is a sweet spot. I'm not even there yet. But once you hit 100,000 with, 75% of those subscribers actually watching your content. And see, that's another thing. If you can have 100,000 subscribers, but if your videos are only getting 5,000 views per video, that's a 5% watch rate. So the subscriber count doesn't mean shit. But just to use that in simple terms, you need 100,000 subscribers. You can't even monetize your channel until you get 1,000 subscribers. So if you think I'm gonna leave Kansas, I'm going to the island, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, and I'm going to make enough money to pay my rent, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen overnight. So let's talk about the blog and the YouTube channel as serious forms, streams of income. I wrote an article on my blog years ago, and it's called the 100 Article Rule. And basically what I'm saying is if you need to build your website and post at least 100 articles before you even think about leaving your home country and becoming a travel blogger. Because after 100 articles, you're going to start to get some traffic, you're going to know how to fix the WordPress site, you're going to know how to build the articles, write the articles. And it kind of gives you time to figure out if this is what you want to do. And your website, your blog should be making money well before you try to punch out. It should be making, religiously, is that the term? Consistently. It should consistently be making money every month where you can gauge how much you have coming in before you leave your home country. Same with your YouTube channel. So if you're saying I want to punch out in 5 years or 2 years and I want to try to make money on YouTube, you need to start posting videos now. You need to start building a subscriber base now. By the time you leave, that channel should be making you money, and you should know how much money that channel, an average of what you're bringing in. All right, so we talked about affiliate marketing. Basically you're just taking products and you're recommending products or services or digital goods. I mean, it's anything. You can go to a website called Share a Sale. There's Commission Junction, ClickBank, all of these affiliate marketing websites, they have thousands and thousands of products. You want to talk about dog food, there's dog food companies that will share, give you a commission if you sell their dog food. Okay, what about a drop shipping store? You can go to Shopify.com, and I think there's a plugin called Oberlo where you can plug in products from China. All you're doing is basically doing the website, the marketing. When somebody buys a product, they ship it. All you do is deal with the customer. You never touch the product. And so some people do drop shipping stores. I think that niche is a little bit burnt out now because it's everybody's doing it. But there are people that make money off of drop shipping stores. And with everything I just talked about, the problem is there's a learning curve. If you're a plumber, what the hell do you know about building websites? Nothing. That's why if you're okay, and let's talk about the travel niche. If I were gonna start any website or any blog, it wouldn't be a travel blog. I think you're better off taking your expertise, because you can write about your expertise from anywhere. You can blog about it, you can talk about it. So say you're a plumber and you have a lot of knowledge about plumbing. That's information that people need and they want to read about. But how do you present that? Well, you've got to learn how to film yourself, how to edit the video, how to upload it to YouTube, how to post articles on WordPress. You have to learn all this shit. So if I were a plumber, I wouldn't start a travel blog. I would start a blog about what I've learned in plumbing from the past 30 years. But before I left, I would make sure I know how to use WordPress and how to upload videos on YouTube. That's why you have to start now. All right, if you have digital skills, you're in your 20s, younger generation, all this you already know. But you can also go to places like Fiverr and pick up gigs there. All these other little online sites where you can do build websites. That's another easy thing to do. If you learn how to build WordPress sites, you can get $500 clients all day long. Because just go price a website in America. How much is the average web designer going to charge you? God damn, these dudes are killing me. they're going to charge you at least what, $1,500 to $3,500. Well, that's what you have to charge running a web design shop and paying employees and everything else. But if you have this skill and you're living over here, you can charge people $500. You get 2 website customers a month. You can live here. And folks, I know WordPress. I can build a WordPress site in 8 hours, and it looks great. So you could get those $500 clients. You know, people will gladly pay that. Just post an ad on Craigslist, and boom, you can get a client pretty easy. There's no doubt in my mind if you have those skills to build websites. All right, so let's move right along. The problem if you're used to a structure, say you come out of the military, you're very structured, you've been working 9 to 5, that's a structure. But all of these things that I've talked about, there is no structure to it. And if you're not one of those who are self-motivating, or you have to have, you know, self-motivation, self-determination to wake up, open a laptop, put in 8 hours. Nobody's telling you to do it. It's easy just lay in bed, start drinking beer, and not do anything. You have to have some creativity. You know, you have to be able to think outside the box. This isn't just get up and work, get up and work. All of these things, you know, you got to find a client if you're building websites. You got to come up with content if you're producing written or video. You have to generate this content. It doesn't generate itself, and nobody's telling you what to do. When I woke up this morning, I just came and stared at this camera before I turned it on, and I said, what do I want to talk about today? And for a while, you'll have this creative block. Some days you have a whole day of creative block. But all these decisions are things you have to come up with. And if you work 30 years in a factory, it's going to be culture shock to you because nobody's telling you what to do. There's a lot of uncertainty in the path that I just talked about. You know, being a creative, a content creator, there's a lot of uncertainty. There's no structure. You have to be creative. All right, let's move along to the next option. You don't have any online skills, you know, you're not interested in it, you hate writing, you're not good on video. Maybe you're you know, from my generation, teaching English. All right, this is no big secret. A lot of people punch out, they end up teaching English. If you can speak English, you're from you know, a country where English is your first language. Folks, you can go to all these places, Southeast Asia, Central America, South America. You can pretty much go anywhere and teach English. And I would say here in Southeast Asia, you're going to make $1,000 a month. You can live life. You're going to live. You're going to live on a strict budget, obviously, but you can live. And for many of you, $1,000 a month teaching English here is a better life than you're living where you're at. You know, if you're in Thailand, you get a you know, nice little room, $250 a month. You walk to work. The food is cheap. The weather's beautiful. You're living a great life, but you're not getting rich. Now, if you go to South Korea, places like Japan, you're actually going to be able to bank some money. You really want to bank some money, you can go to the Middle East. Okay, and just as a side note, I took that TOEFL course, teaching English as a foreign language, whatever it is. You know, I got that certificate 10 years ago, just as a backup plan. So I do have the certificate. I can go teach English if I want to. But I remember when, at the end of my class, the company said, you know, we have a lifetime placement. If you ever need a job, just call us. We got jobs all over the world. You know, they're just begging for people. So if you need a job, just call us. Tell us what country you want to go to. We'll give you phone numbers and people to contact, people to see. It's never really a problem if you have all your, you know, your paperwork and everything in order to find one of these jobs. But at the end of this class, they said, hey, anybody want to go to Saudi Arabia? They're paying $60,000 a year plus living expenses. And holy shit, you go to Saudi Arabia and make $5,000 a month teaching English? No, I'm not going to Saudi Arabia. That's not a place I want to go to. I'm not living over there. And we'll just leave it at that. But you can teach English. You know, I got a buddy over in Angeles City. He teaches English Monday through Friday. And it's varying working conditions. But what he does, he just does one-on-one with the private lessons. He only has like 3 students. So every day he spends 2 hours with this student, then he spends 2 hours with that student, and 2 hours with that student. He works Monday through Friday. Just, you know, pretty good life from my standpoint. But then you have other gigs, like in Thailand, my buddy was saying, man, I had 100 people in my class, and it was just like I was a babysitter. Nobody's listening, there's too many kids. So, you know, like any job, like any business, you're gonna have different working conditions. And depending on the country, you know, whether or not you're just gonna live or whether you can actually live and bank some of your money. Personally, I would rather live in Southeast Asia, make $1,000 a month, than go to Saudi Arabia and make $60,000 a year. But maybe, you know, there's different plans. I know people, they say, look, I'm gonna go to Saudi or I'm gonna go to South Korea and work for a few years where I can save some money and then come over to Southeast Asia, and then I've got a little cushion going on. So that's another option for you. And this ain't rocket science, folks. You hear this all over the internet, but it is an option. Oh, the other great thing about teaching English is that the company, most places, not all the places, but they're gonna help you get your visa. Okay, you're gonna be on some type of work visa. They're gonna get your work permit, and that takes a big stress off of you. You know, some of these countries like Thailand, if you're not 50 years old where you can get a retirement visa, it's hard to stay there a long time. You know, you're either riding a tourist visa and then you're trying to leave and come back. You're on an education visa. But if you get a job, your company, your school is most of the time, not all of the time, they're going to pay for that. Now, sometimes they don't pay for that. Maybe, you know, maybe you have to pay for it, but they're going to do the paperwork where you can live there. Now, the downside is if you get, you know, if you quit or get fired, well, now you've got to figure out your new visa situation or hurry up and get a new job. But a plus and a bonus to teaching English is that the company, the school, is going to help you get your visa. And that's a big expense and a big headache taken off your plate. You go to work Monday through Friday, don't worry about your visa, enjoy yourself. All right. Now, everything I've said is pretty much common sense. It's well repeated around the internet. But I'm going to tell you, if I were in America or anywhere in the West and I wanted to travel or I wanted to move to a certain country, you know, just to, you know, get a different scene, a change of scenery, a little bit of adventure. But I'm not interested in building websites. I'm not interested in YouTube. I don't like standing in front of a class teaching people. What's the other option, right? If I don't have any investments. And this is what I come up with in my mind. And I didn't do this, I haven't done this, but this is what I would attempt to do if I were standing in America right now and I had zeroed on my debts, and I'm like, all right, let's figure out how I can make money. I would go to my boss at the company that I work for now. And I would go to my boss, and I believe this to be true. If it's a company with over 30, 40 employees, I think that this would work. And you just go to your boss, you're like, look, I want to move to Guatemala, or I want to move to Thailand, and or I want to travel around Southeast Asia, but I need a job. I need some income. Is there any position here at our company where I can telework? I will work for a reduced salary, and if there's an issue with the insurance, I'll do it on a contract basis. You know, and is there any position that I can do here that I can do the work from my laptop, telework, but instead of sitting in my house down the street, I'm going to be sitting on an island somewhere off the coast of Thailand, and just sit down and explain to your boss what you want to do, and just explain to him that I'm going to provide value at a lower cost. So if you're making, say, let's make some nice round numbers. If you're making $50,000 now at your company, and you identify a job where you can do the job within that company via teleworking, via from your laptop and a telephone, and you tell your boss, you say, hey, look, I'll do the job for $24,000 a year. You can pay me half my salary. I'll work the same amount of hours. I'm just not going to be able to come into the office to see you once a week because my ass is going to be on an island somewhere. And if, like I said, if there's an issue with the insurance or benefits, you work it out on a contract basis. Now, if I'm the boss sitting behind the desk, okay, and I'm looking at numbers, I'm sitting there thinking, wait a minute, now this guy's coming in here, he's not asking me for a raise. He's asking me to work for half what I pay him now. I'd be thinking, man, this guy's crazy. But I start thinking about it, I'm like, wait a minute, I can save $25,000 a year by just letting you work from home when there's already positions where people are either doing that already, or I can generate this position that will provide me value at half the cost of a U.S. wage. I would be thinking, hell yeah, let me figure out exactly how we can use you. You're going to put in 8 hours a day on the laptop, make sure you're accessible on the phone, and you're going to handle these customer service problems. You're going to call the customer and deal with these customer service problems that I don't want to deal with. And oh, by the way, I'm going to pay you half your salary on a contract basis. No more benefits, no more retirement for you. And I'm sitting on this side of the desk saying, hell yeah, I just picked up a $24,000 a year job. I'm going to be living in the Philippines on $2,000 a month. I'm a fucking king. And all I got to do is sit on my balcony drinking a beer and listen to some customers fucking complain. Oh yeah, it's a win-win all the way around. And what I think is, now look, I haven't been over there almost a decade, right? But I think there's a lot of people already teleworking, yeah. Or at least 3-4 days a week, they're working from their home office, and maybe they go into the office 1 day a week. People are already doing that. So all you have to do is find you one of those positions and just be upfront about it. You tell them what you're going to do and pick up one of those jobs. Now the reason that I see a lot of value in that is because these bigger companies are already outsourcing, customer service. They're outsourcing all kind of jobs to India, the Philippines, places where people speak English, and here, there's these huge call centers. Well, the customer, let's face it, a customer doesn't want to talk to somebody in India or somebody in the Philippines that is not fine-tuned in with the company business, right? The average, if you really got a problem, you really need to speak to somebody who knows the ins and the outs of the company. You want to speak to somebody within the company. I mean, and nothing, I'm not taking anything away from people who work in call centers, okay? They provide a service. They provide a service at a lower rate than we could pay people in the West. I'm not taking away from that model, but I'm saying if you have a higher level of customer service problem, you want to speak to somebody there at the company in the States or in the UK, and you guys know where I'm coming from. So if I were the boss, I'd say, hell yeah, man, you're going to handle the most complicated customer service problems because you've been here for 5 years. You know the ins and outs of the company. You know our products. You know our policies. That's a perfect job for you, because I'm paying, for outsourcing, I'm paying, $10,000 a year per person. Okay, I'll give you 25. Yeah, it's double what I would pay for an outsource, per personnel in another country. I'll pay you double, but it's half of what I have to pay you if you live here in the United States. And I would sell that to them. I would sell it to them and say, look, man, where I'm going, I can get, like where I'm at right now, folks, and this is another consideration. If you're going to pick up one of these jobs, you have to have reliable Wi-Fi. Now, you see me laid up in that hammock. Okay, I had 4G LTE Wi-Fi. That's okay if you're doing stuff on your own time. But if you're going to work a 8-hour job where people are depending on you to call them, you can't depend on that 4G LTE. You need some badass fiber, no shit fiber optic Wi-Fi. And there's certain places over here that provide that. Now, if you're laid up on an island, not so much, and you have to consider, like, the islands that I've hung out on, they have electrical brownouts every day. Every day the electricity goes out for 6 hours. That's not conducive to working this type of job and promising your boss back in the States that you're going to handle this. You need a stable electric supply, and you need fiber optic Wi-Fi. So you're online. When you pick up that phone, it's a crystal clear connection. People have no idea that you're sitting in the Philippines. They think you're right next door in Kansas. So those are some considerations. But like I said, where I'm at right now, I'm rocking the fastest Wi-Fi I've had since well, even faster than I had in America. It's like, it's 150 megs, and it's almost up and down. It's fucking blazing. It's through a company called Converge. So if I wanted to religiously, there I go using that term again, consistently work 8 hours a day on a schedule where I had to have a reliable telephone, reliable internet, I've got it. I could run a damn call center out of my office right here. My Wi-Fi is so fast. Let's get a cold beer. All right, so back to my notes right here. All right, so we talked about the points. Okay, if you went in there to your boss and said, hey man, just give me some type of telework position. I'll work 8 hours a day. And if you work this out with your boss, with her or him, I want you to start doing it before you leave. Don't just say, hey, I'm going to quit on Friday and then I'll pick this up. No, you start doing it months before you decide to leave. That way you iron out the problems. Your boss gets into this routine of how you're going to work from home, how you're going to work from abroad. And if he has any questions or wants to fine tune your work day, you're able to go into the office and sit down face to face and work things out. So after 3 months, then everything's worked out. You got a flow, and you don't have to go see your boss. And so then the guy will be like, hey man, are you still here? Are you gone? He don't know. Everything's already worked out, and now you're on your way to success. Okay, another good model. If you are doing this, your company's going to direct deposit the money into your account. So you've got your home bank account. There's nothing changed. You come over here with your ATM card. And now you're not dependent upon either getting paid in cash or having to open up a foreign bank account. I hate that word, foreign. A local bank account. There's pros and cons to that. You can say, we'll just leave it at that. Okay, I will say it's a convenience that if you've got that company, your same company, dumping money into your account. That way, if you decide after 2 months, I don't like the Philippines. I don't want to live here. I want to move to Guatemala. you can move. All you got to do is get on a plane and move. Your money is still being direct deposited. You're still working. You're free to move. Or if you just want to do 1 month in every country, you just bebop from every country. But if you move here and say you're teaching English, you know, maybe they have you open up a local account, it's a little bit harder to pick up and move. So with this model, getting a job with your current company, there's nothing changes. Nothing has to change. Your money's still going there. Yes, you still have to file taxes. You're going to pay money on, or pay taxes on that money, but that's welcome to the real world. I think that if you sell this to your boss, I think your boss and everybody in the company would be behind you on it, because they're going to live vicariously through you. They're going to be like, hey, did you hear, you know, Ed over in marketing, he's making 70 grand a year. He just cut a deal with the boss. That joker's moving to some fucking island. He's going to work for $24,000 a year. Who the hell goes in there and says, hey, let me take a reduction in pay? So but you're taking that reduction and you're going to live a better life. But people in your company are going to, you know, it's going to create drama and interest for them. They'll probably be behind you, you know, and everybody's sitting in there in a cubicle, and then you're posting this shit of you, you know, down on the island with this beautiful turquoise water, living the dream. So I think the other good thing is that they're going to provide some type of compassion and understanding. Okay, say the electricity goes out where you're at for 2 days and you can't work. Well, the boss is going to have some understanding because you've explained this to him. And so instead of just getting mad and firing your ass, he's going to say, no, man, I knew up front, you know, there might be days when your Wi-Fi went down and, you know, you had a brownout or what have you. I understand, man. You know, glad to have you back. And that's just another good reason. Okay, if you're a small company and none of these positions exist, then just start looking around. Look around for a job where you can telework. Maybe start out part-time, doing some part-time work. Then eventually, you know, you got to sell yourself that, hey, I can do this from abroad. I don't have to be sitting here in Kansas. I got fiber optic Wi-Fi over there with the occasional brownout. And folks, you sit over here, you're still working, you still have a damn job, or you're just, you know, bebopping country to country. And if you ever get tired, you can go back to your home country, you still got a job. You know, I mean, going back, you know, going from making 65 and you drop it down to 25 and then you try to go back, well, that's going to be an issue. But if you can make $2,000 a month, you can live here in the Philippines like a king. And so this big long video is just to give you some food for thought. But realize, starting a travel blog, starting a YouTube channel, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And I'm not telling you not to do that, but I'm telling you, in my mind, the most solid, reliable way to make the bigger wage with the most options is to get a job now and start teleworking, you know, working remotely from your laptop from whatever country you, or whatever company you pick. You know, go to an insurance agency. Okay, go to an insurance agency and somebody who just looks at forums online and makes sure they're all good to go. And if they're not, they pick up the phone and they call a client and they say, hey man, you forgot to fill in this address, what is it? Simple customer service jobs that in America they have to pay people $30,000 a year, $35,000 a year to do. And you go in that angle, hey, I just need to work from home. Okay, no problem, you can work from home. All right, well, let me tell you exactly what I'm going to do, where my home's going to be. I'm going to be in the Philippines. And I don't need $35,000, I'll take $25,000. Now look, they'll pay you $35,000, well obviously get as much as you can get, but I'm just trying to tell you how to sell it, how I would try to sell it to my boss, and how to get what I want. And the end result would be, let me be here in the Philippines, let me be in, you know, a beach in Mexico somewhere. living off the local economy, and I've got 2,000 US dollars pumped into my account every month, I'm living like a fucking king. I can sit here on my laptop, don't even gotta put a shirt on, I can drink beer and just put it on speakerphone and talk to customers or just look at forums. That's what I would do if I were there. So folks, whatever your endeavors are, whatever your personal goals are about traveling or leaving your home country. Number one, get out of debt. Number two, generate an income, whether it's through rental properties, investments, whatever you've got going on, but get out of debt, generate an income. It's easy, it's difficult and it's easy. Generating an income is easy because you don't have to make $100,000 like you have to make in the West. In the West, you gotta make 100 grand to live a good life, right? Over here, you need to make 24 grand to live a good life. So if you've got this whole spectrum of jobs over there paying a lot more money than 24,000, it's easy for me to go in there and say, hey, the job's 50, pay me 25 and just have a little bit of understanding and a little bit of, give me a little bit of slack, man. Cut me a little bit of slack if I'm not online, you know, right at the exact time on one day, because I might have a brownout. But I'm saving you 25 grand a year. We do it on a contract basis. You don't even got to pay me benefits, dog. That's what I would do. I want to thank everybody for joining me on today's video. Background noise from the construction. Maybe you didn't hear a word I said. Yeah, shit happens. Shit happens. You know what I mean? That's the problem with the millennial generation, I think, is that they want everybody to fucking apologize to them. You know, you say something wrong, something's not perfect, you put too much sugar in my fucking latte, they want an apology. Nah, fuck y'all. You ain't getting no fucking apology. Sometimes in life, you gotta deal with what fucking comes down the pipe and make the best of it. So if this dude over here hammering on that fucking tile is loud, fucking deal with it. Fucking deal with it. That dude over there is working his ass off. All right, I'm in here talking to a fucking camera. So you just got to deal with it. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, in the bottom right hand corner of your screen is, nah shit, I think it's over there, right there. There's that little overstay road sign, and what that is a subscribe button. So boom, smash that overstay road sign. Become a subscriber on my channel. Food, beer, visas, a lot of drinking, bad behavior, and just my life's philosophy. I don't really have a niche here. I just, whatever the fuck I do in life, I share with you. Whatever I think about, I share that. And everything in between. But yeah, I'd love to have you as a subscriber on my channel. And for all my folks who are already here or you're already punched out, leave some comments down below. You know, I do have a mixture of people who are trying to figure out how to get out of the rat race. They're trying to figure out how to come live a simple life, lay up on a beach, and the struggle usually is, how do I make money? How do I make money? Okay, I can get out of debt because I know I can hustle. There's plenty of jobs here in Kansas. Plenty of extra jobs, but how am I going to make money when I leave? So leave some comments down below, food for thought. You know, if you run a YouTube channel, you run a blog, or you've got some type of online business, leave some comments down below, some no shit, ground truth fucking comments. Don't go down there and tell people that, hey, you can make $10,000 a month on your travel blog. Don't be putting that bullshit out there. Okay, let's keep it to reality here. And if anybody is doing some type of telework position, I'd love to hear from you as well. But I just have to go on what I know and what I think. And I'm not guaranteeing that your boss is going to give you a fucking job, but I'm telling you what I would do. I would do right now if I was working at a company. You know, I was working at at an insurance company with 1,000 employees, I promise you there's a job for me to do from my laptop, and I don't have to walk into the office every day. I'm 100% certain that I would find a position, and I would almost say that if your company is over 1,000 employees, you probably have work already outsourced already. You've got work outsourced to India or the Philippines, and you're paying those employees there, the local rate, but they're in a different country. They know very little about the inner workings of your business, of your organization, just what they've been taught on the script. And you're an inside guy. I would sell that to upper management or the middle management at least, that hey, this is the position I'm looking for. Folks, it's a beautiful day here in the Philippines. It's hot. It's rained a little bit, which is cool stuff off. But we're getting into the rainy season where it's raining every day a little bit. But I'm just enjoying life over here. I want to thank everybody for watching my videos and for sitting through all these damn Google ads. But advertising is what pays the bills. I mean, advertising, that makes the world go round, right? So I want to say thank you for sitting through all the advertising on my videos, and it's another way that we generate money. It's an income stream. Be sure down in the description to check out my article on how to get out of debt. Folks, that's the most valuable piece of advice, and that live stream has only got a few thousand views. Not many people have read the article, and it's a masterpiece. It is an absolute fucking masterpiece and roadmap to teach you, to show you how to get out of debt in America. The average American is like 35, 40,000 in credit card debt. You read that article, and it's a roadmap of how to get out of debt within a couple years. If you follow what I told you, and probably nobody's going to take my advice, but whoever does at the end of 2 years, you're probably going to be out of debt. You will zero your fucking debt if you take that advice. All right, folks, time for me to download this video, get it polished up a little bit, and get it uploaded for you. I'll see you guys on the next video, next live stream, and next adventure. Peace out, my friends. You don't figure out a way to make money, you'll be holding up this fucking sign.